Hello there. Hello there, 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 and welcome to Be in a Jar ASMR. Be in a Jar ASMR. Welcome to today's video. How many times can I repeat? Today's setup is going to be a little different. It's been a while since I've filmed a video like this, and I'm in a very weird spot in comparison to where the camera's at, and so I'm hoping that my soft speaking will be loud enough for you guys to hear over the sound of some of the triggers and, you know, various background noises such as the neighbor's dog always barking whenever I first start to film. Maybe it's one of those, you know, cognitive biases where I don't seem to notice until I'm actually doing something that I don't want noise for, but hopefully you guys can understand, and I hope it turns into background noise fairly quickly. So, anywho, it has been a bit since I have filmed. I don't think I have filmed since Christmas. The holidays were very hectic and busy. Spent a lot of time with family, spent a lot of time traveling around. It was quite a lot. And then New Year's was spent with friends, and so been a little all over the place lately, so it's been weird to get back into the groove of filming. I feel like I say that just about every time that I take a little long of a break from filming. God, I really want to be more consistent about my schedule, but you know how it goes. I also just upped the hours on my current day job, and so that's gonna throw a bit of a wrench into my personal time. But I am trying to use it as wisely as possible to ensure that I can get the most out of it that I possibly can. Sorry about that. My furnace is a bit noisy. Old house, old house, old house, old house. But anywho, I wanted to show off some new stamps that I've been collecting over the last couple of months. Kind of a newfound hobby. I used to have a bunch of stamps when I was growing up. I've always been interested in all different kinds of crafts, but I've always kind of I was gonna say, I've always been interested in a variety of crafts, but I've always kind of done them half-assed, and then I realized that that rhymed and it sounded very Dr. Seuss for adults, so but it's true. I just, you know, collected stamps for a really long time, didn't know what to do with any of them, and I think I got rid of most of them, sadly. I think some of them might still be at my parents' house, so I might have to scoop those back up since I've been getting back into this again. But I have kind of gained an interest in card making, which stamps are great for because you're, you know, mass producing something. If you're going to make, you know, a whole selection of cards, it's nice to not have to draw a specific picture for every single card, that kind of thing. It's fun to mess around with designs and such. And so I picked up a couple of stamps at the thrift store, which I have a couple of right here. And then my partner got quite the hint that I was interested in collecting stamps. And so when he did an advent calendar for me this past Christmas, it was very sweet of him to add a little stamp in just about every single day. So that was very sweet. So I've got some very interesting little stamps from him. Some of them are quite entertaining and funny. So we're going to be experimenting with the new setup today. I thought it would be kind of fun to go through some of these stamps, maybe use some of them as well to see how they look, see if we can come up with some designs. And unfortunately, I wanted to be able to use my Blue Yeti mic for the setup, but it would have awkwardly been sat like right here, and it would have picked up on a lot of noise from this rickety old table, because this is a vintage table. I think it's from like the 1960s or something, and it's great. It's like a little fold up. I think it's, what is it called? The Foldomatic, I think. And it's a great table. I love it. It's what I use for all of my crafts. So I suppose you guys have not seen this little table yet. But it is very noisy. So whenever I'm moving things around on it, the Yeti mic was picking up just about every single creak, and it was just a little too distracting, too distracting, too distracting, too distracting. So also hopefully I'll be able to get the framing right when holding objects up to the camera, but you know, bear with me. This is the beginning of a new style, new style, new style. I will definitely go back to filming my usual, I don't know, formats at some point, but I just wanted to do a little experimentation with this style and possibly do some videos like this while crafting or collaging or painting, and of course, as always, rambling, 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 rambling. So, one of the first stamps I have here is this pretty little border with some flowers. I don't really know what type of flowers these are. They're very pretty, but this has very much vintage feel to it. You could definitely use this for bordering around like a placeholder, like a name or something like that. You could write a signature. You could put, you know, Happy Valentine's Day in here. You could even frame a photograph if you really wanted to. But it's very pretty, very elegant. All of my stamps are going to have some residue from my testing with them, with the only color of ink that I currently have, which is orange. Orange, 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 orange. But it's my favorite color, and my partner said that it was between orange or black for what ink he decided to get me, and he said, well, I wanted to go with your favorite color, so it makes the most sense. So got this lovely little guy. Then this is one of the first ones that I got. So I got this one at a thrift store, as well as this lovely rose. So pretty. It's also a pretty huge stamp as well, so it takes up a good amount of a page or a card. It can be used to border something, or it could be a great centerpiece as well. It's nice because it has kind of this L shape, and so you could use it, you know, vertically or horizontally to frame something. If you have like a sign that you're making, or even like a large card, you could put one in each corner and just kind of border and frame it, border and frame it, border and frame it, border and frame it. Very cute, very cute. And yeah, it wasn't, I don't know, it didn't seem like it was very well used. Like it seemed, what am I trying to say? I guess fairly new, not beat up or anything like that. And so I was very happy to find this guy. And then this is one that I picked up at a craft store recently. So there is a lady in town that has a craft store. She's this very eclectic lady, very interesting. And she has this store where she collects art supplies that are donated to her, and probably some from her own collection. And she has a whole big bin, and I'm not even kidding. There were 2 massive totes filled to the brim with all kinds of stamps, and it was so cool to go in there and just start digging through that bin, because they are pay what you want, which is great because they were all donated to her, things that she salvaged, you know. All of them were just pay whatever you want. So I got pretty much this entire basket here. Basket's unrelated, it was one I had previously, but I filled this thing with some stamps. I probably got, like, trying to think, maybe I guess not that many. I was trying to think. I was like, well, I filled this thing, but let me try and get my story straight here. Wow. I'd be great under questioning. But I filled up a good portion of this basket for only like $15. And you know, like this stamp here, it has a price tag on it for $13, but that was not actually what it cost, and it was pay what you want, you know. And at the time I was like, you know what, I'll just pay 15. I've got a whole bunch of stamps here, I'm happy with them. And this one is very pretty, very intricate. I really love this little forest scene. It's very pretty. And so anyways, sorry, I'm a bit frazzled, a bit frazzled, a bit frazzled, a bit frazzled. It's the end of the day, you know, the day job, it gets to you. But let me show off this pretty little basket here, which was perfect for some of the stamps that I got. A lot of these stamps were also a lot of these stamps were also purchased for me for my advent calendar from the very same lady, so maybe that's why I was having some confusion there with my story. Because I did not purchase this lovely pickle stamp. This pickle stamp, 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 pickle stamp. My partner picked that out for me, and I thought it was hilarious. He did too, and so I will definitely be using these lovely jar of pickles for something. I think this was another one that he got for me in my advent calendar. It's just a very pretty design. It could really go any direction. It's very pretty. It could be used as like an arrow. It could be used to frame something. It's really up to the imagination, up to the imagination, the imagination, the imagination. We also have here this lovely fence post. I think I picked this one out last week. Super cool. Just very imaginative design. You could use it for just about any type of scene, which is great. You know, it actually goes great with this guy here, you know, where we have this lovely forested scene, and you could stick that fence right in front. It could really help to frame it. I feel like I keep using that example. You could frame it with this, you could frame it with that, but I guess that's kind of what I do when I do designs and things like that. This is a set of like some, I'm trying to think of what plant is this. I wanted to say cattails, but it's not cattails because those are a little different. These almost look like lily pads. It looks like a tiny little lily pad down there. So I wonder if these are like lilies or something like that. I'm trying to figure that out. Not sure, not sure, not sure, not sure. But this was one that was in my advent calendar. Very cute. I love the natural setting. I had to get this one. I thought this was adorable. Just a little kiss mark, a little kiss mark, a little kiss mark, a little kiss mark. Especially since Valentine's Day is coming up, I thought, oh well, you know, you can use this for just about anything. So I'll probably end up being cutesy with my partner and putting this on something or another. Let's see. These ones are cool. These little designs. I'm assuming these are clouds, but you could really take them any direction. I don't know, it could be like sand and some footsteps, or snow with footsteps, or dirt, or grass texture. I mean, you could use it for just about anything really, but it definitely does have the vibe of some clouds, some clouds, some clouds, some clouds. Very pretty design. This is very cute. I could not resist. So adorable. I was just imagining like a couple looking out onto a sunset when I saw this, and I was like, I have to snag this. It's adorable, and could definitely use it for Valentine's Day cards or collaging, because a lot of the crafting I've been doing lately is some pretty intensive collaging. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I've been working on like a big junk journal, and I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. And so I've been introducing some stamping into it as well. And haven't done anything with this yet, but I really want to make a pretty little scene with these guys. So I thought that was very cute. Got another kind of natural vibe one. This is like some rocks, it looks like, which you could use this at, you know, the bottom of a river. You could use this as, you know, large hills in the distance. I just like the textures of environments. It's great to play with those textures for that imagination. I don't know, I'm just throwing around big words and hoping that something fits. This is really cool too. You can see that there's a bunch of orange ink on these guys. I'm having such a hard time framing up where I need to be. Oh my goodness. Definitely experimental type of video here. But we've got some orange ink here, so I think I am going to actually clean this off, because I've been really bad about actually, you know, really cleaning my stamps thoroughly, which I should probably use like maybe alcohol or something. I'm not really sure if anybody has tips on how to properly clean rubber stamps, let me know. But close to new. This is pretty cool though. This was one that my partner picked out for me. It's just some little speckles, so you know, literally endless uses. But I really like the texture. It's very pretty, very pretty, very pretty. And then this one is also covered in orange ink, so we'll give that a wipe as well. You can kind of do some maintenance with me here. I stacked all of these shortly after doing my stamping, and I guess they weren't fully dry yet, and so they left some residue behind, but that is okay. Let's see. Okay. This is really pretty. So what's cool about this stamp is I have it upside down. That's not the cool part, but got this little setup of trees along a body of water, and you can actually see the reflection in the water, which is super cool, very pretty. I did actually make a little scene with this guy, and I had it upside down, unfortunately, but kind of adds to a little of surrealism, maybe, if you have it upside down. Kind of interesting, kind of interesting, kind of interesting, kind of interesting. Very pretty, very pretty, very pretty, very pretty. Let's see. Then I have here happiness. Happiness, 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 happiness. That's probably what I'm going to end up doing once I start struggling to do my repeated words. Very pretty though. I love the cursive, and I think I made a little, what was it? I made like a little label that was like the pickle jar with happiness. I thought it was pretty funny. This my partner had gotten that for me. There was also this one he got too, which is grand. I love that. He loved getting me like some goofy options, as well as this one. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. If anybody knows about that John Mulaney bit where he goes, I'm sorry, you'll know. If you know, you know. This is very funny. You can use that for, I don't know what I'll use it for, but it's hilarious. And then I've got this little guy in here. These cute little bunches of flowers, a little bunch of flowers, 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 bunch of flowers. Very cute, very cute, very cute. That also came from my partner. And then this one caught my eye. Very interesting. It's just kind of a plethora of words. I don't know if these are in another language or if it's like, I don't know, it kind of looks like it could be another language. Maybe someone can tell me what language this would be in, or if it's like random characters together. I'm not really sure, but it caught my eye. I thought it was interesting, especially since it said demo on it. I was like, oh, well. I don't know what the finished piece looked like, but it was interesting for doing like some word layering in the backdrop of a scene. So now that I've unveiled all of these lovely stamps, I'm actually going to pull out some paper so that I can stamp a few of them so we can see what they look like. So I have here a piece that I was using to clean off my ink. And so basically what I'll do is I'll, do a stamp on one page and then I'll kind of wipe it off on the paper on the other. I don't know if that's the best way to clean them, but it is my method at the moment. So I've got a few different pages here. So we had some options. I was thinking I might try and make a little scene. So I've got my orange ink, I thought this sounded great. Very interesting tapping sounds. Kind of sounds like a rain stick a little bit. A rain stick. But I am excited to get to stamping, Okay. Alright. Very pretty orange, very bright, very pigmented. So let's see, what do we want to start with? Got a lot of options here. I don't know if we'll use all of these or not, but let me see. I kind of want to do something with these forest settings. The only problem is, look at the size comparison between this ink pad and the stamp itself. Huge comparison here. And so you kind of have to, like, you know, layer the ink is what I was doing. I imagine that's what you do. So maybe instead of starting with this guy, because that's a lot, I'll start with this one instead. I have actually done a little scene with these guys, and so I will show you what that looks like. So I'm going to put some ink on here. Just going to load it up. Probably going to get some ink on my hands, but that's okay. I really got to take those price tags off. They're bugging me. Okay. So I'm going to put one like right here. Oh, a little splotch missing in the center there. That's okay. Okay, we'll keep going with it. I'm not going to go back over it again because I'm worried about it like doubling up and looking weird. Okay, let's try. Just push down a little harder this time. Oh, we're still have a little blind spot there. That's okay. Just gotta learn my stamps a little better. Okay. My rings just bumped into the tripod and it was very loud and obnoxious, so we decided to give it a bit of a cut there. A bit of a cut. Okay. So I'm gonna try and mask what I did there with something. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But let's see. I'm just moving all of these stamps around. I'll do some clouds first. So we'll add some clouds up to the sky. Give it a bit of texture. We're going to have to kind of continuously layer if we really want it to look like a sky. And we'll have to go over top some of the trees if we don't want it to look like the clouds just end it. And then there's going to be some darker patches and some lighter ones, but that looks similar to a real sky, so that doesn't look too bad. I mean, it looks a bit perfect for a sky, but that's okay. Okay, lot of ink on the rim here, so I will add a bit of a wipe because I don't want these to be super messy. I mean, I'm fine if they get messy over time. They're art supplies. It's kind of hard to keep things in tip-top shape, but I also don't want to deal with getting my hands super inky every time I want to work on this stuff. I'll leave this little guy here since we've been needing it so far. Okay. I want to place these guys because I want them to be looking at the view. So let me get this loaded up with some ink. I might be doing this totally wrong. I don't know if there's a wrong way to do it. Okay. Can already see there's a big streak of ink on that finger. Oh, that looks great. Okay. Whew. Getting noisy. Right on that nail. Getting all that orange ink. You can already see me turning a bit orange. That's okay. Not a bad color to be. Let's see. Then I want to do some rocks around them. We can kind of build some texture. And I'll kind of double it out to the sides there. I can do some a bit behind them as well. I think I'll hold this since this wants to be so dang noisy. Okay. I don't want this to be so symmetrical and perfect. I'm trying not to have it be that way. I'm trying to layer it a bit just so it doesn't look too crafted, you know. But you'll see what I'm doing here in a minute. Okay. Definitely need some grass stamps. I think that would be great. So I'm going to add these little cattails now. So I'll probably put one right here. Fill in some of those gaps. So there's some plants, and it just looks like there's a little more to the scene here. And then I think I have an idea too. I might actually add some texture to the presumed water here. And I might use this same stamp that I was using before for the clouds, and I'll do some lightly along the water. So it just kind of looks like there's maybe a reflection, and I can kind of like shake it or wiggle it so there's a bit of streaks so you can tell that it's the water. I'm not very good at, explaining what I'm doing. I just kind of do it. So I hope you're picking up on it. I mean, this isn't really a Bob Ross tutorial or anything. This is just my little methods. Okay. Not too bad. Not too bad. Definitely an interesting technique. Just kind of streaking it along. Let's see. And then I'm curious about adding this fence as well as these little specks I'm curious about too. I wonder if that would look good or not. I can't really tell. Maybe I'll put the fence out in the, should it be out in the distance or should it be closer? I guess it should be further out in the distance, but I don't really know if the fence fits this scene now just because of how far the water goes out. I don't know if the fence will work. Unless maybe I do a spot where there's like a bit of a perspective shift. We could try that and see. Let me see what I can do here. I'll do like a little bit of a, maybe I'll do it over here. A little bit of a rocky alcove, and I can add a fence to the edge there. It's just experimenting, so it might not look very good. Kind of have it cross back. I guess it doesn't really connect, does it? I can put one right there. Shoot. It's hard to connect those. I like that you can kind of see it, but just the corner looks a bit funky. Maybe that's not so bad there. Okay, that's not terrible. And then let me add a few more cattails to this guy. Looks pretty cute. Trying to layer it just so it looks a little more full. And I don't really know what else I could add to this, really. These flowers are not very realistic, so I don't know if they would really fit the scene. And these rocks seem to work pretty well. I might put a few rocks out here in the distance to kind of fill in those spots that, oopsie, got left behind. There we go. This has been kind of a noisy video, so I apologize for that. There we go. It's not too shabby. kind of put like some mountains back in there. And because it's all the same color, it blends very nicely. Not too bad. They look pretty cute. I feel like there's a little gap right underneath them there. And they could stand to have a few more of these cattails around them. I think like that and maybe there. I have a really hard time saying when it comes to art. And so a lot of the time I'll kind of profusely continue working on a project until I'm unhappy with it, I guess, because I overworked it, you know, and sometimes you just have to say when. And I think this, for example, is pretty good. I think this captures the scene, and we used the stamps to the best of our abilities. But it looks pretty cute, I'd say. So yeah, that was just with these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stamps. So with 6 stamps, we made this cute little scene. In the future, I'd love to get different colored ink so that I can really layer it better and add some more texture to it. You know, have some greens in the forest, some browns, some blues, some maybe orange or yellowish colors. I mean, I suppose this already is orange, but maybe some yellow or pink for the sky. And, you know, I don't know if it would be possible to like watercolor this in, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, kind of a fun little pastime. The rest of these stamps are good for making cards and things like that. I could totally use this one for part of a scene, you know, that could look really cute out there as well in the distance, a little meadow, you know. But yeah, it's kind of a fun newfound hobby. So, with that being said, I think that's all the time I have for this video today. But yeah, some cute little designs, and I'm gonna have to really thoroughly clean these guys so that when I put them back in the basket, they don't just leach orange ink all over everything again and get my hands all dirty, get my hands all dirty, get my hands all dirty, get my hands all dirty. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this style of video. It was definitely a bit chaotic as usual, just because I don't always have a plan, really ever, when I make these videos. But if you guys like this format, I'd love to continue making some crafty videos. I've been really getting interested in collaging lately. I'll show you guys a little example of one of my collages. Let me see if I can find it without making too big of a ruckus. Of course, it's on the bottom of everything, so bear with me. It'll be a bit noisy. This was when I was starting the other day. This was just kind of a pastime one. And yeah, it was kind of cute. I was just piecing a few things together, but got a foot of Audrey Hepburn here, threw in a butterfly, a hummingbird. Oh, the poor beak is getting all messed up. I didn't notice that. And then this was part of a calendar that I used the flowers for. I like doing much more intricate collages than this, but this one in particular was just kind of a quick pastime. I actually kind of discovered collaging for the first time I don't know when it was I guess last year sometime, and I ended up making this little collage, which isn't much. I was going to do much more with it, but I thought that this was kind of funny. This little woman in a drink. This lady was in a bathtub ad, and then I found an advertisement for like a rum or something like that, and so I just popped her in there, and I thought it was cute. So I like going for the surreal sort of vibe. I'm actually working on one. Most of these I actually do at work because I have an opportunity to craft while I'm at work. But I was working on kind of an environmentalism one, a treasure lost, and I was using, I can't remember what this was. I think this was from National Geographic, a scene from COVID, and then I used the spray bottle to spray industrial cityscape over the Arctic. So it's kind of fun. A sad little collage, but just kind of piecing together the, I guess, the mortality of the planet and the direction it feels it's going in at times. But yeah, this is kind of an example of some of the collaging that I do. I do all kinds of little projects, but I thought it could be fun to do a collaging video where I spend some time, you know, looking through magazines, cutting things out, piecing something together. Could be kind of therapeutic. Maybe in the future end up doing like some live streams or something, but hopefully this video goes well. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and let me know if you would like to see some more crafting videos going forward. I know I did a drawing video at one point. I'd like to do a painting one someday, but just let me know what you guys think, and if you have any suggestions or ideas, please feel free to let me know. I'd love to hear them. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm always awkward when I'm behind the camera because I don't know what to do with my hands since I'm not on screen. So, woo. I hope you guys are having a lovely morning, afternoon, evening, or night, and take care of yourselves. Hope you're enjoying the new year. Kind of amazing that we are in 2026 already. I suppose this is technically my first video of the year, so Happy New Year. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys are enjoying life to the fullest. And as always, until we meet again,